Today my guest is Katya Sarmiento, who is a successful systems and automation expert who helps other successful high-achieving CEOs to systemize and scale their online business for more freedom, profit, and peace of mind. Guys, what happened to me? I cannot speak because I am so excited. This is like, I'm like boom, because I love Katya. I love her, what she does, and now I love her even more because a couple of days ago I found out that we share the same personality type. So it's absolutely awesome. And if Katya with that same personality type could systemize and automate and all this, then I can, and anyone else who are ENFP can.
Yes.
And this is brilliant. And the funniest thing as well is that I was writing a new kind of about page text, and a mutual friend of ours, Katya Verbanova, who we love, she said to me, "Oh no, don't bother. If you're ENFP, you are shite at writing your own sales page." And I went, oh, deflated. And she said, "There's a website you need to check out." And she gives me Katya's website, and I'm going there, I'm like, wow, this is awesome, who wrote your sales page? And then Katya comes out and says, yeah, I eventually did it myself. and we found out that we have the same brain, and this is very, very shocking for me, because usually people who have that kind of brain are almost like if we were all diagnosed with ADHD or any similar thing, we probably would scale really high. When I did I didn't go to the doctor seriously, but when I did an online test, and basically the test said, go to the doctor now. So
I went to the doctor and they wanted to diagnose me. I was like, no, I'm okay. I'll figure it out.
You know what? I think the whole thing about this is, okay, yes, of course, look, majority of people have some sort of deviation from normal. I don't even recognize normal. But it's about learning to live with the way your brain works and understanding what difficulties and what advantages you have with that kind of brain, I think, and then understanding how other people think. That's the key. It doesn't matter what they call it, so that's when I started thinking about it that way. I started enjoying it and stopped beating myself up. But I saw on your about page, Katya, I saw that you said that before you'd be like overwhelmed, and you would great at starting. This is me, my personality, great at starting, very difficult to finish. I want to know, where was that turn? Because with what you are doing, you need to kind of commit to finishing too. So tell me, take it back a little bit. Tell me if there was a shift in your consciousness, or how did you figure out what to do with your type of brain to succeed, and where you are now? Because you've built successfully a couple of businesses. One of them is a bot education company that generated 6 figures.
I don't have it anymore.
Yes, I was about to say that. So it generated 6 figures.
Just want to clarify that.
And then you sold it. So and now you're working with some awesome people as well, aren't you? So it's it's a brilliant story, but you have to have your shit together basically to get that. How did you get your shit together?
Okay, so and I really like this question. How did I get my shit together? So, okay, I started running my online business when I was 18, but I have always just naturally been good at systems, especially for other people. So I can think back to every corporate job I was in, every job that I've had, because I've been working, either if I was doing freelance at 13 years old, freelance web design, or I was working for a job, I was always systemizing people, but I didn't know the wording for it. But, if somebody was having an issue, like, for example, I worked at a dentist's office and they had everything on paper. So there were issues. There were issues like if they would double schedule, double book people, or people wouldn't show up and they wouldn't know how to charge them the you didn't show up fee, basically, at a dentist's office. So I started automating and systemizing a lot of these things. And I did it at every job. I worked at a hotel. I worked at a smoothie place. I made an application, a game for the smoothie place, because they didn't have proper training and onboarding. So I created a game. They didn't end up using it, but I thought it was cool because it helped me learn the smoothie recipes and the food recipes. So I've always just kind of been I've always found creative ways to solve problems. That's just my superpower. And so when I started my business though, at 18 years old, I kind of did a drastic move where I dropped out of college halfway through my second semester. I quit my full-time job, which was supposed to be my career path. Like I was going to be like a software developer, engineer, whatever, at a big company. And I kind of just dropped all of that. I'm like, I'm going to start a business. And I had no idea what that would take at all. And I turned 24 like 2 days ago. So that's how many years ago that was. And so I started realizing, and obviously this wasn't instantly, I went through maybe 2 years of excruciating torture and self-inflicted torture, because I was like, okay, I'm starting a business. I have to be very professional. I have to like not have purple hair. I had very brown short hair at the time. I have to have a specific way that my website is. I have to have business cards. I have to show up to networking events. I have to wear like dresses. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing leggings right now. That's how you'll find me now.
Same here.
But I was like, always dressed professionally. And then I was like, bought a bunch of courses, of course. I over maxed out my credit cards. I don't know how they let me do this, but I had a credit card limit of 5,000. They let me go to 10,000. I was like, I don't care, more courses. I care now because I'm paying for those mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm telling you, I'm just putting it all on the table. Over maxed out my credit cards. I think I had like 120% utilization on all of my credit cards, and I had like 6 credit cards. So I don't know if I have this on my website anymore, but I put the exact number of debt that I got myself into in just a span of 2 years, and I think it was over 100,000. Because I was like, I need to learn more. I need to know. I need this formula. I need the strategy. Oh, this person had a successful launch with this. Oh, this person's making 6 figures with that. Let me do the ADD, shiny object. Yes, for sure. I never finished any of those courses, by the way. And then, it was actually a big turning point in my life where I was living in Miami, Florida, and I was feeling pretty miserable. I was in a relationship that was, honestly, looking back, holding both of us back, not just me. I'm not putting any blame, but it was holding both of us back. And I needed a drastic change, and a friend offered to host me in their house in Atlanta. So I just bought a one-way ticket and stayed at their house, helped them with their website and stuff, kind of like bartering, and just had some space. I really disconnected from my normal day-to-day stuff. And a lot changed, actually. I broke up with that boyfriend that I was with and met my current boyfriend. We've been together for like over 3 years. Actually decided to move to Atlanta, and I did that in less than a year, which is surprising. And I completely changed my business. I think I was calling myself like, I started with Cat Web Designs, and then Authentic Technology Coach, and then Reach and Make Millions came to me, and I was like, this is it. And that wasn't the first breakthrough I had either, because the next breakthrough I had was a year after that, where I was living in an apartment here in Atlanta, and I found out there was toxic mold there. And I was like, I've noticed that I've always prioritized business and what other people think business should look like. And so I realized I need to prioritize my personal life. And so I started taking care of my health. I started a completely different diet, moved into this beautiful apartment that does not have mold. I'm the first person to live in this apartment. So very, very nice apartment. Started taking care of myself more. And, those are only 2 of my breakthrough moments in the past 5 years. There's probably more that I can say, but what I can say each and every single time what happened, what the turning point was for each of those moments, was that I realized, first off, what does getting my shit together really mean? Because what does having your shit together look like? I think what I was really doing was I was looking at somebody else's life or business, and I was saying, that is having your shit together. So that is what I need to look like. And every time I went down direction, I hit rock bottom. There was always that point where I was like, okay, this isn't working. And this never was working. And now I just can't deal with it anymore. And I need to shift something. And the shift is always coming back to the truth of who I am and who I want to be, and what goals and what vision is aligned with my calling. And just every time every time the relationship wasn't aligned, the home wasn't aligned, the business wasn't aligned. And so I had to stop doing what I was doing, slow down for enough time to realize I didn't like this, and take some time to think about, like, okay, who am I and what do I really want? And let me go get what I want, instead of saying I need to sit here and get my shit together because that person has their shit together and they actually really don't. Because I've been behind the scenes of businesses that I thought had their shit together. And then I go behind this. I'm really like a behind the scenes person. I've worked with some really big companies that like, I sign NDAs, so I don't really talk a lot about it, but I just come in here and I'm like, this is really a problem. You don't have your shit together. But they're aligned. They know who they are. They know where they're going, and they're going after it. And even though there's a ton of things that aren't working, they're fixing it and they're getting their stuff together. And it's like, what matters is the alignment. For sure.
This is so true. Can I just say something, guys? If you're watching us, and Katya just said, she's just turned 24 and she's been an entrepreneur from, 18 years old. I am 41. I just started, I came in 20 years later to that. At 24, I had my child. Like, I didn't think that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I wish I did, but I went through exactly the same stages. Everything that you've just described, I went through. It's like you're trying to be someone, you're trying to do things the way things are laid out. You're spending shitloads of money on online courses that you never finish, because this is like our brain. You need somebody, maybe if somebody sits down with you like a coach and explains things and works with you, then then it works. But the online courses for some people's brain, and it seems like ENFPs some of those people, it just doesn't give you enough clarity. And I went through the moments where I felt like I hit the wall, because anything you do is like it's just non-existent. But I know I can. Deep down that you can. And it's only when you start appreciating your madness in a way, appreciating your own ways, and just saying, you know what? Yes, I know everybody says to me, do it this way. But I actually am not going to do this way, because it doesn't feel right to me if I was on the receiving end. So let's say like a discovery call or something, I never do that. And you know what? That's changed everything. And I'm listening to this, and this is going back to know your personality, guys, know how your brain works, and don't be hard on yourself. And another thing, what Katya just said about really putting yourself first. It's not selfish, and we usually try and either be like some people want us to be, or try and help them. It's like there's a lot of altruism, fake altruism in my life as well. I've been supporting businesses, and somebody says I want this way, and I know it's not the right way. It's a disaster, and yet I would never speak up and say no, this is not the way to do it. You're like, okay, I'll try and do it, and it's like you're trying to fit the square peg into a round hole. It doesn't work. But
and to clarify, like, it's the same with systems. It's like people are like, okay, so I have to follow this system, or I have to use this tool because so and so uses it. But are they selling you this system because an affiliate commission, or because it's actually going to work for you? And so every time people ask me, what tool do you use? I'm like, what does it matter what tool I use? It may or may not work for you. So let's actually dive deep into who you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your technical skill is, what systems you do have and don't have, where your business is going. There's a lot that goes into this. And, that was actually something that I resisted for a long time, was doing a group program, because I didn't want to put people into a container where they had to follow the steps. And I had to figure, I recently launched a group program, and it's like month by month. And I'm like, I tell people straight up, there's no 8 weeks or 90 days. This is ongoing for month to month. And I'm not going to tell you what, like you have to use these tools. Like, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to get to know you in this group, and I'm going to give you customized solutions, but in a group format, so other people can listen and be like, I didn't know that, because you don't know what you don't know. And now I'm thinking about it, and maybe this might be a good idea, or maybe it's not the right time. But it's like, especially with systems, people try to like fit themselves into these really strict routines or habits, or tools and technology, and just any type of system. And it's just not going to work if it's not aligned with you. And I see this time and time again. And it can be as simple as doing a morning routine. Like I used to beat myself up for not waking up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, because it's that entrepreneurs that are successful wake up at 5, 6 in the morning. I'm like, I'm such a night owl. I like waking up at like 9 or 10 in the morning, you know?
I'm laughing because if anyone who's watching my the last 2 weeks shows, that's what I say all the time, that, oh yeah, if I wake up at 6, and it's like you are beating yourself up if you, like, I like maybe waking up at 6 some days. But if at 3 o'clock in the morning you want to do something and you get up to do it because that's when you're most productive and no distractions, then it's very hard to get up at 6 as well.
I am most productive at 9 o'clock at night. I've noticed it consistently. My best ideas come up at 9 o'clock at night.
It's so funny. It's 3 a.m. for me. But yes, I see that. It's a night person. It's something that at night you just become, and even when you're tired, you're actually much more productive. You get much better ideas than in the morning. You're too sluggish. By the time you get your rhythm up, you know, it's already a nighttime, basically.
Yes.
I find that, and this is so funny that you're talking about it. And alignment, I completely agree. And a lot of people are very hard on themselves. For example, they say, okay, I'm a coach and I need to have a funnel that has a webinar, and the word webinar just creates like anxiety explosion. Yes.
I hate webinars and PowerPoint slides. And if somebody asks me to speak and they want PowerPoint slides, I'm like, absolutely not. I like these conversations. I like just showing up and being spontaneous and speaking from the heart.
Yes.
So,
and you're very good at it as well. So it just feels natural. And so the bottom line, guys, the takeaway from this little chat is that if it doesn't feel like, if you feel a complete resistance, it's not necessarily that you may be procrastinating or, you know, I always say be fearless, but it doesn't mean that you have to go and do things that are not your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow down, stop and slow down long enough to think about it. Like, is this something that I'm resisting because it's out of my comfort zone? Or is this something I'm resisting because it's out of alignment? And there's a very clear difference. Like, you can feel it in your gut. You'll know the answer, and you just need to be honest with yourself and move forward with whatever that answer is. And it's tough. It is really hard. You know, I actually hired a coach that I worked with for 2 years, and she was the best thing that's ever happened to my life, because she was able to help me slow down and think like, okay, is this in alignment? No? Okay, stop doing it. And that was the hardest part, was admitting that and then actually stopping. And there was one point I remember, well, I hired her, and then one of the first calls, she's like, I want you to do nothing. I'm like, what do you mean nothing? She's like, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to do anything. Just nothing. Do nothing all day. I was like, this lady's crazy. And it was so hard. But it just made me realize all of the stuff, all of the busy work that I was putting on myself, because I had an income ceiling of like $8,000 a month. And I could not pass that for the life of me. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And like, it was $8,000, but based on somebody else's way of running a business. And so I completely shut down my business and started over with Reach and Make Millions, like realigned it. And I was able to pass 10K a month, 15, like it was just so easy. It was just so, and that, actually, okay. Easy is the wrong word. It was simple. And there's like mindset work that you need to do. And there's resistance that shows up when you're out of your comfort zone, but it was very simple because all I had to do was be myself.
This is brilliant. You know, this is something that I came up to this, and I didn't have a coach. I had to come up to this because there was just so much inaction, and you just have to say what's happening. You know, you just have to be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, it's again. Look, I'm talking again. It's the way your brain works, and I love it what you're saying, because I can relate 100% to this. So in a way, and I also see how simple things are making even money making easy. But it's not about the money making; it's actually the satisfaction of seeing the results, isn't it? It's a bigger kind of thing. But it's also, but then you don't have worries. Because that's another part. Well, I don't know, my brain and a lot of people that I know, you worry too much if you have debt, you worry too much about these small things, and they can interfere. So slowing down, I can see, and what you just said, it's so difficult to do. Have you learned how to do it now? So I don't even think it's something, it's not a destination. It's like something that you're continually practicing. So there's certain areas I've gotten really good at. Okay, I like money. I feel great with money right now. I feel great with clients right now. Health issues,
not so much. Like just yesterday, I was telling my friend I had a total breakdown because I went to dance class for the first time in 3 weeks and I couldn't finish the class. And I had a procedure March 1st. And so like during the class, I felt cramping. I was like, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be back in dance class because I haven't asked my doctor, but I was just feeling like all of that stuff was coming up and I was feeling really resistant. I was like, I'm never going to be fit and I'm never going to be strong. And I'm just like so bloated and fat and all this stuff coming up. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. That is total BS. And like my boyfriend had to help me a little bit through it because after the class, I felt so defeated. He's like, you just went to dance class after procedure and you finished most of it. Like I did 45 minutes of the class out of an hour. Like that's pretty good. You're getting back into it. And the procedure is really helping me move forward with my health issues. So it's like, it's a constant practice, even with money sometimes. I'll look at my bank account and like, if my bank account is lower than a certain number, I'll like feel a little freak out. And I was like, all right, I think the biggest thing is like, who do you want to be? Or if you look at where you want to go, who is that person that already has those things? And so, for example, for my clients, a lot of them want to scale. A lot of them have successful businesses that blew up really fast. So they got a lot of leads and got a lot of sales and are really good at marketing in the face of the business and have a big following, but the systems part, not so much. I'm like, okay, so my clients, and it's funny because they come expecting me to give them advice and we actually work a lot on mindset. And I don't promote myself as a mindset coach at all, but it's a big deal because I can give my clients all the tools, all the systems they need. But if they don't have the right mindset, the systems won't matter. And so I have to help them shift to who do you need to become? Okay, who is this person that scales their business? The person that scales their business, let's think forward, is somebody who's making 7 figures. That's usually the goal of my client. And how are they behaving? Who are they being? How are they acting? How are they speaking? How are they holding themselves? And so are they thinking, okay, I have to do this work myself because it'll take too long to delegate? Or do they think, let me delegate first because in the long run, that's going to help me scale. That's more scalable than me having to do it myself. Or if you're making creating a new offer, okay, would this person think, let me just like put this stuff together really, really fast and just put it out into the market and do this really quick? Or would this person that has scaled a business think about the offer, think about scaling it, productize it, systemize it in a way that allows it to grow and be able to take on more clients, like, right? And so when my clients can actually shift to that mindset already, and it's the same thing with me, I keep thinking, and this is a basic example, I keep thinking, when I eat healthy and exercise, I will become fit. That's not the truth. The truth is, I am fit, therefore I eat healthy, I exercise, I do things that healthy people do. And so I need to step into that way of being first. And then it has to feel really aligned with me. So for example, like I used to do a bunch of diets. I used to do like P90X. I hated it. It was just totally out of alignment. It didn't feel good to me. I prefer dance class and yoga. And so I stepped into like, okay, if I am a healthy person, which I am a healthy, fit person, what would I do right now? I would go to dance class and have a great time. And I wouldn't care if I finished the class or not. I wouldn't care if I was bloated because I'm just here to have a good time and move my body, which is very different than what I was doing yesterday, which is like, I'm going to dance class because I need to get fit and skinny and like, I need to stop being, there's
Yes.
very different ways of being and behaving. And that will impact a lot of your, I see it with my clients all the time where they're like, you could see this easily when I've done this myself. So I'm not calling anyone out because I've done this. It's like going into groups. It's like, what tool should I use for this? What email marketing platform is the best? What funnel builder is the best? And it's like that person's like not in the right mindset because a CEO running a 7-figure business that has scaled their offers and their company and has team, they wouldn't be going into a Facebook group asking what tool should I use for email marketing. Like they would hire an expert and trust that expert's opinion and get the right advice. And so there's just a very different way of being. And that's what I want to promote for my clients is like, I want them to step into that. And I don't want them to depend on me for that either. Because I see that a lot as well where people hire others to set up systems and stuff, and then they depend on this person to manage the systems because they didn't learn the mindset, they didn't learn how the system was set up, and they don't even know if it's set up in a way that they like, and so they end up not even using those systems half the time. And I usually come in and clean up those messes a lot of the times, to be honest with you, and it breaks my heart because it's really I want to see people empowered. And I feel like it's a very simple process. It's going to take practice. It's going to really take awareness of like, oh, wow, I'm sitting here, calling myself bloated and fat. That's not really going to help me out, is it? So let me shift my mindset back into alignment of I am fit, I am healthy, I am enjoying moving my body versus anything else. And I'm trying to give different examples because some people may or may not relate to the business one, some may or may not relate to the health, but it's across the board.
This is
like
brilliant. I relate to both, I have to say. The resistance of I need to start exercising. And again, if somebody's following me the last 2 months, because I haven't been exercising for a year, I have a resistance. But I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, you're just like actually giving me like a free coaching session of how I can start thinking about my exercise routine, because it's so it's brilliant. But it's also what you just said about people when you're working with somebody. And I think that it's not when you reach your 7-figure business that you need to actually step into that mindset, guys. You need to step into that mindset as early as possible. If there's something that you're wasting your time on, go hire somebody. It's an investment in your business, and the earlier you start doing that, the faster your business will grow. It's just so simple. And I know from firsthand, because that kind of resistance, if being afraid to hire somebody and invest because you think that you don't have money to invest, you do, because it's all expenses of your business. It's your business expense, it's not out of your pocket. So, you should be doing that. This is important to step into that. And then another thing as well, if you are hiring somebody to do something, spend some time learning the basics and to have an understanding what they're doing. Because nobody means to keep you victim to their services, but if you don't yourself get your head around it, you will feel like this. Eventually it will create this kind of resentment because you feel trapped. You can't change somebody. Sometimes it's so much simpler. Experts are interchangeable, and I deal with that on a smaller level. I've dealt with that in my digital marketing agency as well, but actually it takes only 20 hours to learn basics of anything. So
yeah. And I think like a good consultant or coach will give you the mindset and the big picture idea of what they're working on before they work on it. And or at least that's what I feel like is the best for my clients, because like I used to just do it for them, and I would see them stop using the systems. And so I went back and I'm like, okay, here's the mindset, here's how I'm thinking about this, here's the strategy, and here's why it's important. Now let's use it. And that shifted a lot of things. And so it's also making sure you hire the right person, doing your due diligence, finding out, researching, don't be pressured into things. I've been definitely pressured into hiring people that weren't a good fit. And I'm not saying everyone's like that, but it happens. And also the same thing with courses. Like, do you really need this knowledge right now for where you're going? Or is it just a distraction? And that requires slowing down and getting clear on what you want and where you're going. That's so true,
because we live in the era of digital distraction and informational distraction all the way. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about, you brought a free gift. There was a choice of free gifts, and I thought that our audience will probably want to take your 60-minute funnel building challenge, which I actually started doing. I started doing it, but I don't use ClickFunnels. And you're using ClickFunnels because I do everything in WordPress, so I find a way. But guys, like if you've been building websites for 20 years, then it's easy to do.
Yes, not everyone has.
Exactly. But I loved the whole process, and maybe if you can just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yes, there is a 60-minute funnel building challenge. Now, the prerequisite is that you already have content. So usually the people that I work with best have a ton to say. They have all of the content. They have it all up here, all written out, and they are just not using it effectively. And they know they want to build a funnel. So this is something you've researched, like you've looked into different options. Like it may or may not be a good fit for you. That's why usually opt-in pages are really vague. Mine is very detailed so that you're not going to waste your time. Look at the page, see if it's a good fit for you. But basically, I use tools that are pretty good for non-techies, because that's another group of people that I work a lot with, is people that are just not techie. They cannot build a WordPress website to save their life. So I have ClickFunnels, I have ConvertKit, and I have Easy Webinar. And these three tools, they integrate really well together. They're like really easy to learn if you're not good at technology. And then also, like, you could take the concept and move them over to like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or any other, WordPress, Squarespace, lead pages, whatever you want. Do know that I'm an affiliate of ClickFunnels and ConvertKit, but if it's not a good fit for you, I will tell you it's not a good fit for you. So reach out to me. This challenge is on Facebook Messenger, by the way. It's not through email. So you can literally type to me and I will be able to help you one-on-one with your funnel. And if you feel like ClickFunnels, if, for example, you're building it out on WordPress, I can help you kind of navigate how that would look like on WordPress instead of ClickFunnels. And so I walk you step by step on how to build a very simple funnel, especially if this is best for coaches and consultants, where you need to hop on the phone to sell your offer. And so there's an opt-in to a webinar, to a phone call, and I walk you through that whole thing. And then also, if you join my affiliate link, I give you a ton of templates and bonuses. Like, I have a lot of ClickFunnels templates that are just sitting there. So I've shared them. I have my I have my affiliate crew, my Reach and Make Millions crew for ConvertKit and ClickFunnels. And I like building funnels on those platforms. So that's why I created it. So I'll help people build funnels and create templates just for them. And I've created templates for myself and my clients. So they're all in there. I'll help you like grow your list. This isn't like the primary thing I do, but I love building funnels and I love helping people with technology. So that's just kind of like the area that I get to focus on that with. So it's all completely free. Obviously, if you join ClickFunnels or ConvertKit, I get an affiliate commission, but it doesn't affect the price that you pay for the tools. And then you get I don't see a lot of affiliates doing this. Maybe it's like, I don't know why people don't do this. I guess because it's like extra work, but I offer a lot of bonuses if you join the affiliate, because I don't want you to join like ClickFunnels and then never use it, or ConvertKit and never use it. Like I want you to know how to use it. So it's like all the bonuses are free. You don't have to pay an extra price. It's like, I see affiliates kind of sell courses along with it. Like there's no upsell or anything. It's just like, join the group. I'll help you grow your list. I'll help you build your funnel. I just love doing it. So that's why I'm doing it. And I've seen people sign up for this challenge and literally have their funnel built out within 60 minutes, even sooner. Like there's some people that are like, increase the speed of my videos and finish them sooner. And I'm like, you're crazy, but I love you for it.
Yes.
And then of course there's some people that take their time, and you could definitely take your time. It's completely self-paced. You're not going to be annoyed with like emails and stuff. It's through Facebook Messenger. And when you click done, it gives you the next lesson. There are a couple of reminders, but nothing too crazy. So just, check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. And if it's not, you could just unsubscribe from the Messenger bot and it's all good.
Brilliant. Guys, if you want to sign up for the challenge, I have this in the description of the video, but if you don't see the description now, go into reachandmakemillions.com/gift. And you can pick up your gift there. Join the challenge. Katya, thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so in love with Katya. It's not even funny. I'm so blessed meeting people who are made the way I'm made. And it's, sometimes when you have a brain that sabotages you a lot, it's brilliant when you meet people who are, you look at them, you're like, oh my God, this is just, how are we all not twins? Well, there's a time difference, obviously. But you know what? This is why I love the internet, and that's why I love this connecting to people online, because you do feel like, a lot of us sometimes feel like, oh, am I alone like this? Am I completely messed up in my head? No, you're not. You're normal. Normal is this. It's just, there's different normal. Whatever is in alignment to you, that's what's normal to you.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you took away a lot. I certainly did. And yes, Katya, thanks again for joining me.
Oh my God, of course. Thank you for having me. And then I've been on the comments, so thank you to everyone who's been commenting below. I really appreciate it. And I was just really glad to be able to do this with you.
This is brilliant. Thanks guys, and we will see you very soon.